Hello everyone, this is J Empire Queen, and today I'm going to talk to you about Fire Emblem Engage. Fire Emblem Engage was released on January 20th, 2023 on Nintendo Switch, and it was one of my most hyped games. Despite the fact that I didn't enjoy Fire Emblem Three Houses that much. And it wasn't because the storyline, it was because there was just almost too much to do in that game. Fire Emblem Engage gave me a lot of similar anxiety when it came to all of the extra things you can do in town. I personally preferred the older games like Fire Emblem Fates and Awakening, where you still had bond elements, but you weren't necessarily forced to traverse open world locations. In fact, that is why I put down Fire Emblem Three Houses and I ended up putting down Fire Emblem Engage. But I have returned to Fire Emblem Engage and realized that it is a very beautiful game with a lot more good than bad. Let's start talking about the good elements of Fire Emblem Engage. So the first element that I'm always drawn to in Fire Emblem games are the support conversations, which are created through bonding with characters and also support conversations between characters themselves. It's really fun to be able to, see your favorite characters and then witness special events and moments with them, as well as pair up characters that you think would be a great team together. Support conversations come about after you have reached enough of a bond with a character. So, for instance, when you're in battle and you perform an effective attack against a character, that bond grows. If you engage in activities with the person like cooking or swimming at the pool or visiting the orchard, these all increase your bond with characters and then allow you to witness support conversations and events. These bonds also help you have more effective attacks or team attacks in battle. So it's worthwhile for both the surprise events and the boost in battle. Fire Emblem Engage also has some very unique character designs. Now, I have to admit, I wasn't a fan of Alir's designs, whether male or female. I didn't like the two-colored hair and the two-colored eyes. It kind of reminded me of a clown, and it just wasn't vibing with me. It didn't feel Fire Emblem-like. And it took a while for me to get used to that. In fact, it was one of the reasons why I did put it down at first. And I almost didn't want to buy it because I'm like, this looks weird. But after playing the game, you get used to the appearance, and at least you can change some clothing elements. But the other characters, man, they look great. You've got the 6 different kingdoms, and each kingdom has its own kind of style of garb, and it kind of suits the terrain and the personalities of the characters. And I think that really is done well. I think that is a great aspect of this game. Another great thing about Fire Emblem Engage is that the graphics and the battle system are visually stunning. Just watching the merging with the emblems and with the battle moves is very aesthetically pleasing to the eye, and it's all very fast paced. Even if the battle itself doesn't feel fast-paced, the actual combat itself does. And this is skillfully done through the unique character designs and the unique choreography for each character, as well as when the character merges with the emblem and they have their own fighting style with that emblem. Now we are going to get to the not so great elements of Fire Emblem Engage, and I would have to say that for me, it would have to be the visits to the Somniel. So it just gets really dull for me having to travel to all the separate places in the Somniel, even with the fast travel, because you still have so much to do. There are multiple shops to visit, and you have to go to each different one for weapons or armor or items or costumes. And then there's the arena where you go to train your characters and your emblems. And there's your room where you can go to have like a short cutscene. There's a couple other places, and to me it's just not that interesting. I don't like it. I just want to play the game and go through the chapters and go through supports in a less time-consuming way. The next issue I have with Fire Emblem Engage is the story. I feel like the story drags on, and it kind of starts off with a common entry point where it's like the amnesiac character wakes up by their friends, kind of what we see in Fire Emblem Awakening. And while that can be an homage to that game, I found it more kind of like a cheap move, especially when they also draw so much on like Fire Emblem Fates and the way that the mother just dies off. During my current playthrough, I'm on chapter 16, and I'm just not that invested in the characters, except maybe to see what is going on with Vale and her, split personalities. That's pretty much the only character that's really keeping me interested in the story. I mean, as it currently is, I might just put this game back down because I've got other games like Unicorn Overlord and things that I want to finish that I believe have a better story and more engaging gameplay than Fire Emblem Engage. And I don't think it's a bad game overall. I just think there's things that could have been done better. And I think, honestly, Fire Emblem as a whole should go back to kind of its roots and just get rid of this kind of exploring element of like these cathedrals and areas that really no one cares about. I will say I do like the Xenologue DLC. I'm working my way through that, and I love the design of those specific characters and how you get to see kind of how this parallel world works, which is a nice little development.
So much of the divine dragon. Actually, glorious day. Divine one.
But other than that, I mean, I guess I would honestly give this game 7 out of 10 because it's just got a lot of flaws still, and it doesn't feel like a classic game. That's why I put it down, and that's probably why I will put the game down again. And I picked it up because I got a little bit excited for it, but it's just not keeping my interest. What do you think of Fire Emblem Engage? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Why? Please feel free to comment. And also, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Thank you and have a great day.